everyone, Lenska from NZHL, back again. Mortgage holidays are a hot topic given the recent announcement they will be made available to New Zealanders impacted by COVID-19. But is a mortgage holiday really the sort of holiday you need right now? To answer that question and a few others, I'd like to introduce one of our business owners, Brad Yates from NZHL Mandeville Street in Christchurch. Hey Brad, how's it going?
Yeah, hey Lenska, you're doing well. We're all set up at home and operating as the new norm and helping our clients out remotely.
Oh, that's what we like to do. It has definitely been a shift for everyone, no doubt. We're going to get jumped straight and lots of talk about mortgage holidays, Brad. So I think there's a little bit of a misinformation out there. What is a mortgage holiday?
Yeah, good question, Lenska. There's been a whole bunch of range of comments from people out there from, the government's paying my mortgage, the bank's paying my mortgage, we're getting free money for our mortgage. Look, all of that sounds great, but the reality is a mortgage holiday just gives you a break from paying the mortgage, but you still have to pay it. So the way it works is that if you can take up to a 6-month holiday on your mortgage, and for every payment that you don't make, it gets compounded onto the home loan. It's important to realize that you do have to pay this later on. So to give you an example, if you had a $350,000 home loan and you were paying around about $1,752 a month in principal and interest payments, and you're currently on track to be debt-free in about 25 years, if you would take a 6-month repayment deferral, the balance grows to $356,000 after the 6 months. And if you then kept paying the $1,752 that you were paying at the end of the 6 months, it'll actually take you 26 years, 4 months to become debt-free. So it adds an extra 1 year and 4 months to the term of your mortgage. So there is a cost to it, but it might be the thing that you need to do right now.
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? And that was going to be my next question. It's making sure people understand that cost, that extra in this case, and this is just one example, 1 year, 4 months for taking a 6-month break. And then I guess the next side of that is you might be in a position where you need to take that break, and that's what we're here to help with, right? So who are these packages designed for, and what are they good for?
Look, absolutely. And these packages are designed for people that are in real hardship at the moment. So you've lost your job, or you're about to lose your job, or your pay's been cut dramatically. You might have 2 incomes coming into the household and now you've only got 1. There's a whole bunch of scenarios that are very real right now in these uncertain times. So that's the people like are in those situations. They're the ones that need to take advantage of this. It's not ideal, but nothing about this whole situation is ideal. But this is something that we've put in place to be able to get through a real tricky period until we can get out the other side of this thing.
Yeah, and look, that's so true. And at least we can provide that personal advice, or someone like yourself can, to kind of guide you through, which is fantastic. And look, there is another step in the middle, isn't there, that we were talking about earlier, and that's moving to interest only. So do you want to sort of talk about how you would, what that is and how you'd recommend that path versus the other path?
Yeah, look, interest only would be your first step. So if you haven't had such a dramatic hit to your income, you've had a slight drop in income, you're a little bit concerned about where it might go, you might choose to take an interest only option. And what this means is that you're only paying the interest portion of your principal and interest payment each month. And generally speaking, this means that you'll have a bit of a drop. Now, on a $350,000 home loan, roughly would maybe save you about $680 a month, depending on your particular scenario, but it just gives you a bit of a saving by paying just the interest. What this means is your loan isn't going up, you've got no compound interest costs, but you're not repaying your debt either. So it's nowhere near as costly or pushes your loan out like it does with the mortgage repayment, but it is a better option if you're not in that dire need.
So it kind of gives you some interim headspace, doesn't it, or headroom, and you can tread water and not, and reset for a while. Okay, absolutely. That's really useful. Thank you. And then I hope that sort of clears up for people some of the things that we've seen in the questions you've been asked. Just on a little bit on the criteria, because some of these packs are specific to COVID and the response. So what if I'm listening to you and I'm going, oh, that might be helpful to me. What do I need to do, and how am I eligible?
Well, first thing of all, you've got to be a New Zealand Home Loans client to take advantage of the support packages that we're offering. And secondly, quite simply, you just got to be affected by the lockdown. Your income has to be affected by it, or is going to be affected by it. So, for example, if you're an employee, you're still working full time, your income hasn't dropped, then you wouldn't qualify for it. But if you were self-employed and you were going to take a hit on this due to the coronavirus outbreak, then you would qualify.
Okay, and it's something that someone like yourself can work through what the best option is for you, right? Okay.
What we're recommending people to do is to email us in the first instance, and we've got 80 branches nationwide where we can offer our support, and then we'll make personal phone calls to those that need to know more information, and we'll work through with them what's best for them.
Awesome. Okay. And look, just a final question, Brad, but if you're not in hardship necessarily, so you may still have a job, but you might be a little bit concerned, and I'm sure you've spoken to a few of your clients who are just going, oh, this is a bit interesting. So, you're a bit concerned and you're thinking, is there a better way, and what should I do? What should you do?
Well, I think some of our clients have contacted us and we've talked through the options, and at the end of the conversation, they quite simply go, hey, that's really great, thanks very much. We're going to just sit tight for now and not do anything. But they go away from the conversation feeling better about having that conversation and talk to one of our experts about just what's going on in the market. So my suggestion and recommendation would be to contact your consultant and have a talk to them first and foremost, just so you're clear about what your options are, and then go from there.
Awesome. Hey, look, thank you for your time tonight, Brad. I know you're a really busy man, and the whole network is at the moment looking after our special clients. So thanks for taking the time, and I hope everyone finds this video useful.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Lenska.